Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Rex Ryan, during a radio appearance on ESPN New York, had a lot to say about what is plaguing the Jets, and he called out the Jets leadership. Wait till you hear what Sexy Rexy had to say. That and more. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now.
Please subscribe and hit the like button below.
Super chat, baby. Cut the line. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Before you hear what Rex had to say on Bart and Hahn earlier today, by the way, that's on ESPN New York, where you can hear me at 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. this Sunday, talking New York Yankees World Series. And, of course, I'll be live right after the Jet-Patriot game goes final. We're hosting a watch party for that one. Did you hear? Joe Beningo will be there. Joe B joining us at this one. So if you want to meet Joe and watch a Jet game with him and join us to hopefully see a win against a crummy Pats team, check it out. The RSVP link is in the description. Free event. Just show up the T-Squared and be ready to root on the New York Jets. Let's get into what Rex said. It's a little long here, but I sliced together what I thought were the most important points he made during this 10-minute interview he did earlier today. This was Rex Ryan talking about the leadership issues he is seeing from the Jets right now.
Might be a leadership void within the group, and I don't know how you fix that in the middle of a season.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that when you come in, that's what you're cultivating like your brand and your passion, your locker room. Like, you want to fill your team with a whole bunch of those guys. That football is important, and they love to play the damn game, and it's not just about money, and all those type of things are important. And I think right now it's just that, I think it's almost like they're playing and hoping that good things happen.
Right. And
then if they don't, now they're kind of, whatever. But, like, the enthusiasm has to carry the day, man. Like, you get a chance to play. And this is the thing. I tell you what I would tell them. All right? Especially, like, if it's a road game or whatever. Are we on the road this week? I don't even remember. All right? But either way, I remember
at
flying.
Patriots.
Yeah, at the Patriots. So we're taking a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Before I'd have, hey, look, man, like the night before this game, I think appropriate would be, you know what? Did anybody, when we fly across, like when we're flying and all that, I always look down and I'm seeing all the football fields out there. I'll see baseball fields, I'll see football fields, I'll see stadiums, and even the little rec football stadiums and all that type of stuff, the little parks. And I always think, I'm like, man, I wonder who the best player ever was on that field, to ever play on that field was. And they can never lose the fact that this is a kid's game, man. And it needs to be played with that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of passion, that when you barely knew how to put the damn equipment on, but you couldn't wait to get on the damn practice field or game field. Like, you couldn't wait, and like, oh, hey, in 4 days we're playing. Oh, my God, I finally get to play. 4 more days. And now it's 3 days. Now it's 2. It needs to be the same damn enthusiasm. Like, it's not just a freaking business. This is still a game. And I get it. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry or whatever, but it's still a damn game.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget it. And that's where it's like how the hell do you not hit the field with just freaking the kids' enthusiasm? Like, I don't get it. But I would always tell my guys, man, every one of those kids that were playing on that Pop Warner field or any field, wish they were in them damn seats that you're in that airplane. Every single one of them wish that they could be good enough to play in the National Football League. But don't you ever forget, it's still a kid's game, and where's that damn enthusiasm? If you don't have it, maybe we got the wrong guys.
And
maybe we got the wrong guys. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it boggles my freaking brain. I mean, It really does. It's not that damn hard.
You sound frustrated because you're looking at a team and saying they should be better than this. Am I getting this right?
They should be 100 times better than this. Like, we should probably be undefeated right now. I mean, when I looked at this schedule at the beginning of the year, I'm like, holy cow, they can win 15 games. I'm not kidding. And it's like, from a talent with the per man, who would you rather have? Right. You rather have the players on your side or the ones on the other side? Then that just comes into then here's why. Because great teams, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. All right? That's what a damn team is. Right now, I don't see that. I don't see that with this team. I don't see it.
What is it that – I mean, I know you've been talking about it this whole time, but how do you get that together? Is it simply all the things you've been just talking about? Is you got to talk to him, you got to make it more personal? Because Haason Reddick is now a great example of this. At least Devontae comes in. He's got something personal with Rodgers. But Haason Reddick is playing for himself, basically, isn't he? Like he's not playing for the Jets. He's playing for himself at this point.
Yeah. But a job of a leader is to inspire. You got to inspire others. And that's part of your thing. And that starts at the top. That starts from the head coach. And I'm just telling you, and I don't know. It's like a ship without a rudder. And look, they should get it together. They're gonna kill New England. Remember when you were worried I'm like, come on, yes. This team. You talk about a poor. How about what their head coach said?
Yeah.
Oh, we're soft. Well, dude, whose job is that?
Mm-hmm.
Whose job is that?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like
reflects leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you, and that's the frustrating part for me because I think I'm a Jet fan right now. I'm not a coach. I'm a Jet fan, just like every one of your listeners out there. All right, and I know how I'm damn frustrated, and I know they're frustrated too because we expected a hell of a lot more. But one thing we want to do is that fan base is full of pride, and like I say, we may lose a game. All right, but what the hell do you stand for? Like, man, I grew up a New York Jet. I grew up in the AFL days, and I don't know. It just pisses me off right now because this is something we have high expectations and rightfully so, and they're not being met. And one thing we should never question is like the love and the do our guys even want to be here? Like, I don't know. I think that's something that kind of frustrates me right now.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice.
I mean, Rex is 1,000% right with so much he said. Definitely check out Bart and Hahn, their podcast of the full Rex interview if you want the whole thing. There was so much good in it. I just pulled what I thought was the most pertinent to this show. The talent on this team is so much better than 2-5. But it is a lack of leadership, lack of accountability. And I think this started with the head coach who's no longer here. When you got Davante Adams calling out the team, and he's been here for 5 minutes, and he's recognizing there's a problem right away, that's a poor environment that was created by the head coach who was in his 4th year. And the whole point of going to Obrick was, well, here's a fiery guy who holds the defense accountable. That will translate to the whole team. And it hasn't happened. That great spark we were hoping to see, they're 0-2. And it took Davante now calling them out. We hope it will work. I mean, look, best time to do this is right before you play the Patriots. You better beat them. And this schedule is easy, as Rex talked about. He went further on in the interview saying he thinks the Jets are going to beat the Texans too, assuming they beat New England first, because he doesn't believe in the Texans. But who cares about that right now? So he's got to win a game. But Rex is right about the leadership problems and the fact that we're questioning if guys want to be here or if guys even want to play. And that's my thing with Reddick. This guy doesn't care about the Jets. He just cares about chasing sacks and trying to get himself another contract. Like, let's see how bought in he is. And if he's not playing your system, playing the right way, hold him accountable. Don't play him. I want to see real changes here. Can we see Olu Fashanu potentially in this week? Can we see a different approach to the kick return game, which has been awful? Are we going to see more sideline energy now? Like, let's go, man. I know it feels bleak, but win a game Sunday, and then you're at home in a short week. And then you're playing two teams that aren't very good, that you can absolutely beat. You got to win one to win 4 in a row, but that's got to be the goal right now. Nothing less. 4 straight wins to get the 6 and 5 at the bye. Feels impossible, but like that's the only way to make something of the season, I feel like right now. Like 3 and 1, yeah, I mean it's better than how you played, but 3 and 1 would put you at what record at the bye? 5 and 6? Like, okay. Then you really have no wiggle room. You can only really lose 1 game, maybe 2, but I wouldn't count on it. And you would still have 2 games left with Miami with Tua back, in theory. A game at Buffalo as well. But this year has just been a nightmare, man. 2 and 5 with this talent. And they just had a kicker, right? They have another win or 2. But they don't. And then you come out flat in a primetime game on Sunday Night Football with your season, in theory, on the line against the Steelers. A game you actually led 15-6. And you let the Rodgers interception completely unravel you, where at halftime you're just deflated like you lost. You're winning at halftime. That's leadership. Rex is 100% right. And that's the culture that Robert Saleh unfortunately created. I thought it was better than this. And I think what happened here too, here's my theory on it, thinking about this. Last year when Rodgers went down, everyone knew they had to do more because they knew they lost their meal ticket. I think this year, Rodgers being back, these guys are just too relaxed. Like, oh, Aaron's going to figure it out. He's Aaron Rodgers. Well, he's 40. Now he's banged up. He's not the same guy. And even if he was the same guy, that's not fair to Aaron either. Now, he's got to play better, 100%. And he put it on him this week, which I like hearing. I like what Devontae said. But, man, like, they're out of time. They got to go now. But I really do think, like, this defense and some of the players, everyone just relax. Oh, Aaron's back. He'll figure it out. And it's like, no, man. Where's the sense of urgency? How do you come out flat in a primetime game where the whole country's watching? The president of the United States is in the building. How do you come out flat? All eyes on you, NBC, Sunday night. How does that happen? That's on coaching. That's on the leadership of the players. And once again, I'm glad Devontae said what he said, but the fact that he had to say it is alarming. And this goes one of 2 ways. Either they start winning and everyone buys in, or everyone's going to be out of here at the end of the year, and you're going to be playing for nothing. These next 2 games decide the Jets season in my mind. I don't know if they're going to, quote-unquote, give us a season, but as far as, like, still having hope for a run to the playoffs and ending the longest drought in North American sports, to me, it's like they got to win these next 2. I know everyone just assumes they're going to win on Sunday. They should. I don't think we should assume anything right now. I know the Pats suck, but so do the Jets right now. Jets aren't a team. They're just a bunch of names until they prove it. So I think Rex is 100% spot on with what he said. And if you listen to the full thing, Alan Hahn essentially asked him, man, you must, as a former coach, must be eating you alive that, like, you know what you need to do to fix it and you can't. And basically, without saying it, Rex said, yeah, absolutely. He's like, but I'm lucky to still be in the game. I get to work for ESPN. My son is a coach in the league. Rex's son, Seth, is a coach on the Lions. But I'm telling you, Rex Ryan will get a formal interview to be this team's head coach next year. I'm not saying they should hire him, but after hearing him today, I'm more open to it because he's right. At the end of the day, football is about inspiring. And with the talent on this team, you can't tell me if they had Rex Ryan right now, they wouldn't be better. They would be. Rex is, in my opinion, the second best coach in this team's franchise's history. He's certainly the best coach of my lifetime. So I'm not arguing or advocating Rex to get the job. But you know what? He should at least get an interview. He should. Because in this interview, he talked about how when you join a team, you got to get guys to play your style, believe in your style. Guys that know your program. He brought up Bart. He brought up Jim Leonard. He brought up the guys that he brought in when he first got there to kind of change the culture. He's like, I brought 3 UDFA guys in to my team. That's right. Jim Leonard, Bart Scott, Marcus Douglas, remember him? Like, he knows how to build a culture, man. He does. And honestly, if you think about it, probably the best coaching job Rex did was 2013 with that roster going 8-8. Gino's rookie year. So I'm not saying hire Rex. I'm just saying, like, he would be the perfect interim, though, if they actually went down that path midseason. It's too late for that now, but this interview got me thinking because he's right with everything he said in this 10-minute conversation. There is a cultural problem with this team right now, and you hope it's not too late for them to click and get it going, man, and guys to start to believe and play better and realize that, well, it's bleak. It's not done yet. You could win Sunday. You could win Thursday. All of a sudden, you win 2 in a row, and you're 4-5 with a chance to get back to 500. You have a season again just like that. In an AFC that is watered down. There's going to be a very flawed team that is the 7th seed in the playoffs. Just look at the standings. Look at the teams. There's a reason why the Jets are actually a 7-point favorite this week and a slight favorite already next week against the Texans team that has a far better record than they do. The talent is there. They are just not playing to it. Now, as far as Haason Reddick goes, he is expected to play Sunday. He ducked out on speaking to the media today. What a surprise. Chicken shit, but, that's Haason Reddick. I can't stand this guy. I want to make it clear. I'm glad he's, here. But if he starts playing for himself or if he's not ready, bench his ass. That's my thoughts on Reddick. And I'm still annoyed that the Jets continue to feature him in social media posts. What are you doing? The last thing any Jet fan wants to see is a reminder of a guy who's basically ducked out on the season so far and a reminder that they're 2-5 when you see this guy show up. This is not Devontae. It's not even close to the same thing. And by the way, let me say this too about Devontae's speech. You know what? It carries a lot of weight because when they watch film this week and they see a guy who just has been here for 5 minutes busting his ass to save a touchdown on the interception, that's going to stand out. That's going to win guys over. That speech will resonate. Helps you play in New England. But I don't know if they have enough Devontae Adams. I don't know if they have enough guys that truly want to win. That's the problem. And everything Rex said is right. He is spot on. And it pisses me off. We're presented today by Huga House. Promo code Asman will get you 15% off on any of their hats. They just dropped 6 brand new hats. So get the hat that I'm wearing, Rodgers wears, plenty of other Jet players, plenty of other athletes and entertainers. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman at checkout. You will save 15% off. Buy one hat. Second hat is 30% off. HUEGAHouse.com. Promo code Asman. Take advantage of that discount. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. Reminder, if you haven't, join the Patreon. Get in our Discord, be part of our community, get your name in the intro, bonus shows, discounts on all merch items, and much more. It's patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Big shout out to everyone who supports me via Patreon, including listener Joseph Navarro, who signed up yesterday for the Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone there for your support. All right. Gus Buster Hotline is open. We will mix in your calls. First things first, a super chat. Nick Shine writes in, let me see that Yankee shirt. It looks fire. That's right. Let's go, baby. World Series tomorrow night. By the way, Yankee fans, I am hosting a watch party with ESPN New York for Game 4 of the World Series. That's this Tuesday. All right. I will have more details. There'll be a promotional graphic and all that. You'll see the station if you listen to ESPN New York promoting it. But for those who want to know early, we'll be watching Game 4 at Vanderbilt Market, which is right next to Grand Central. Really cool spot. TVs everywhere. Plenty of food items, food options. ESPN Street Team will be there with giveaways. We'll have Yankee giveaways specifically too. So put it in your calendars, Yankee fans. Game 4, watch party, Vanderbilt Market, this upcoming Tuesday night. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get to your calls as well. Tony's first up today on our show. What's up, Tony?
What's going on, Jake? Love the Huga House hat. Is that a blue brim?
It is. Yeah, they dropped this over the summer.
I'm gonna have to get another one with that promo code because I'm excited for my next one. Anyways, let me get to it. I really like Rex's energy right now. I think it's an early telling of what he wants to do in the offseason. I don't want to look forward to the offseason, but I would really like to potentially bring him back. I love the energy. I love the accountability. We're missing a lot of that. You're bringing a lot of new guys into the mix this past week and a half. I'm losing a lot of confidence. I think everybody's losing a lot of confidence in this team, and it's really hard to watch what they're putting out on Sunday. It's just it's breaking our hearts, and I don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
so.
Look, I think Rex is going to get an interview for the job. I do. I don't think he's going to end up getting hired, right? But I think if you're talking about an experienced coach, he's right up there with any of the ones they could hire. Now, the concerns with Rex is he hasn't coached in 8 years, right? He was with Buffalo. That obviously was a disaster. One of the things he did mention, by the way, in this interview is that everyone was telling him, including his agent, hey, maybe don't jump back in right away. And he's like, nah, F that, man. I'm a coach. I'm going to coach. And he's like, looking back on it, I get what they were saying. I should have sat out. I'm a better coach now than I would have been back then. So he's going to get an interview. I think that's clear. It's just a matter of, would they hire him? It's possible. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's more likely than not that he's not the next head coach.
I mean, just to harp on that as well, is just like jumping off on the roster. We have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. Who wouldn't want to coach that team? The problem is it's the Jets. And unfortunately, in the offseason, when we make some changes, whether or not we make the playoffs or not, because changes are going to happen, you have a really, really good opportunity to coach a really talented team. So hopefully we see what happens in the offseason. I don't want to look forward to it. Hopefully we make some magic happen. But, Jets.
Tony, appreciate the call, man. Win Sunday, and we'll go from there. That's really where I'm at, man. Win Sunday, win a week from tonight. We'll be with many of the Asmaniacs. We got 155 people that bought tickets to this group buy back in June or July, whenever we did that. Get us 2 wins in a row. We'll go from there. Kevin in the car is next. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? Yeah, listening to Devontae Adams and Rex, the fact that there's a lack of urgency for a 2-4 team, again, that's a cultural thing. I don't know. This is the 11th youngest team in the league, so I don't understand why these guys aren't jazzed up on the sideline and why there is that lack of energy. That's something that needs to be addressed and needs to get taken care of. And I don't know how you do that. I think that's kind of a Saleh problem, when he used to make those comments about, a child's game for a king's ransom and they're grown men. And that's an accountability thing. I think he was so laid back, which is weird because we hired him because he was fired up San Francisco defensive coordinator. But that's definitely got to get fixed. And then my other point is, listen, I know everybody wants to knock out 2 wins, and I do as much as anybody. But what I would say is, even if we're at, a 5-6 at the bye, I think we're in good shape. Like, we got to take care of business in New England, right? If we drop one against the Texans and go beat Arizona, you're sitting at 4-6 with a big Sunday night game against the Colts, who are a mediocre to bad team to me.
Kevin,
and
real quick, I pray to the football gods that game is flexed out of Sunday night. The last thing we need is another primetime embarrassment. Season ticket holders have had one mother effing game at 1 o'clock, but from the start of the season to December 1st is not until the next one. Move that game to where we belong because we're losers. Put us in the 1 o'clock window for the love of God. Continue.
No, I agree with you. As a season ticket holder too, it makes my my commute a lot easier. The night games are fun at some point, but yeah, no, I'm good with the 1 o'clock game. But yeah, you set up a huge game against the Colts at home, and then listen, if you knock out 2, even if you drop 1 against the Texans, you're feeling good at the bye. You got 5-6, and then you got Seattle, coming across the country in your building with a chance to get back to 6-6. So I don't want to lose against the Texans, but I'm just saying there's alternate routes. So, you got to take care of business in New England first, without a doubt. So let's get it done on Sunday.
Kevin, good call. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, there's a path to it too. That's what's crazy. Like, very rarely do 2-5 teams have a statistical percentage of 47% to make the playoffs. It's because the schedule is soft, man. The Jets are going to be favorites in probably right now. I believe the Jets are, if you're on the look ahead, right, are favorites in every game remaining in their season besides at Buffalo late in the year. Think about that. They should win Sunday, and they can beat the Texans. They don't have Nico Collins. That's a big loss for them. They got the secondary to strap up with Tank Dell and Diggs. They could win that game. Texans, I'm telling you, a lot of Texans fans I still interact with because I did radio down there for 6 years. They love the team, but they're not sold that, they're in the Ravens or Chiefs category yet. They have some real O-line issues too. So, hey, Haason Reddick, you want to try and get some sacks in that one? We could use you. New England, they could win with or without him. But get his feet wet in that game. And then you want to win over this fan base or try and give us something to be excited about? How about you put C.J. Stroud on his ass 1 week from tonight? Multiple times. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, I don't want to assume they're going to win Sunday because of the Jets, but, like, there's nothing to talk about if they don't win Sunday. So win Sunday and then deal with Thursday. Win that game at home in front of your fans. If you could get the 2 straight, I think we could start to see, like, this team actually putting something together. It might be too little too late because there'll be that devastating SOJ loss late in the year that will put them at 9-8 and outside the playoffs, or 8-9, right? But I'll worry about that when it happens. I want a fun year until then. None of this matters if they can't win Sunday. It starts there, and then we'll look ahead to Thursday. Peter Castro in the house. Jake Reddick's playing for money. He could care less. Yeah, I agree. I mean, let's see what he does. Didn't want to speak today. He said he'll speak after Sunday. Okay. Yeah, you know what the reason was? Apparently, I was reading the tweets from the beat reporters who were in the locker room today. Our guy, Antoine Staley, he does a good job covering the team for the Daily News. I'm going to read you exactly what his tweet read. I just laughed when I saw this. Quote, Haason Reddick declined to speak to the media on Thursday. He was present in the locker room, but told Teens PR that he will speak after the game against the Patriots on Sunday. According to PR, quote, Reddick is focused on getting to know his teammates. Yeah, okay. He couldn't stand next to his locker and answer questions for 10 minutes. Ridiculous. Alan says, do we really have one of the most talented rosters? Yeah, I still think the Jets do. Now, obviously, some of that talent on defense has taken a hit when you don't have Jermaine, you didn't have Reddick for the first 7 weeks of the year. But they still do have a very talented team. Look at some of the teams that have better records than the Jets. They shouldn't be 2-5. Did we overrate some of it? I guess it's fair we did, right? I think I personally thought we would see more from Garrett and Brees at this point. I personally thought Rodgers would play better than he has. I think part of it is obviously the injury he's playing through, and I think we did overestimate. Hey, 40 coming off Achilles, it's going to take more time, but now you need more from him. He was supposed to have a great running game. He was supposed to have a great defense. Now you're asking more from him, and he's got to play better. I think he will play better. He's giving you moments. Like, I thought he played very well against the Bills. He was obviously sensational the last time they played New England, but it wasn't good enough this past Sunday. He played poor. That cannot happen. He called himself out. Devontae called everyone out. All right, let's go. And beating New England is not enough. Beating Houston and New England is what we need to see the next 2 games. Otherwise, what are we talking about? I know Kevin wants to be optimistic. Hey, they could lose to Houston with the next 2. They could be what? 5-6 at the bye. They're not dead at that point, but it's tough to feel great if they're 5-6 at the bye week. 6-5 winners of 4 in a row. We have something to talk about. AZ Jets is up next. What's up, AZ Jets?
What's up, Jake? Just want to pop in real quick in Rockefeller Center. Took a trip from Arizona, originally from New York, but live in Scottsdale now. I stopped in Alden's. Of course, Bonesy not working today, so make sure you tell him I said hi.
That's awesome, man.
Right?
Are you in New York for? No, the Jets aren't even home this weekend. What brings you to New York? Just a big trip?
Just family, friends. Haven't been back in a while, so love it out here, but could never live here again. So I love Arizona, but it's always nice to visit, come back home, and run into some Jets fans because I'm one of very few in Arizona, and everybody loves to give me as much shit as possible being a Jets fan. So got to come and represent.
I love it, man.
Yeah, love it out here, and got to turn the season around. We got to get the squad together, get a little bit of get amped up a little bit extra. I've never seen a sideline so calm in my entire life, especially that 6-yard run that Devontae was talking about. You look at the sidelines, they're dead. It makes no sense to me. Going back to high school football, I've never seen anything like that. So team needs to get some energy, and hopefully we can figure things out and we've got the perfect game coming up to make a point, have a statement game, and put those Patriots fans in the dirt one more time. So keep this streak going against them.
Amen. AZ Jets, good call, man. Enjoy New York. Get some good pizza. So I'd imagine Arizona pizza is crap. Look, here's what I'll say. This is the right game to kind of get you going. And I do think there's something to what Rodgers was saying yesterday. Like, all it takes is one, and then you go. Because the team is still talented. But it's hollow until you see it. I mean, that's the bottom line. But I don't want to give up on this year. Chances are they're not making the playoffs. But you know what? Like, I just want to watch some wins, man. Just good football, please. Also, if any Cardinals fans are giving you a hard time, doesn't their team suck too? Well, they're not great. I know they won the other night against the Chargers, but still. Kyle says, Micah Parsons thinks the Jets roster is stellar. Well, if he wants to join the Jets, let me know. I heard his comments on his podcast. Yeah, this team is stacked. I still believe this. EJ says all teams are talented in the NFL. I mean, did you watch the 2020 Jets?
All the pieces come together in a season, it can be absolute perfection, folks. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Jets, led by Zach Wilson, will fucking suck ass, guys.
I mean, come on now. Obviously, yes, all professional NFL players were the best in their hometowns or their college. But relatively speaking, they're not all talented NFL teams. The Jets happen to be talented, yet they're 2-5. It's not good enough, man. You know, on one hand, you could say, well, they're a couple kicks from having 2 more wins. But that gets old real quick. Because then what's the excuse to be completely flat in Pittsburgh? If you know you're better than how you played, you didn't lose that game because of your kicker. You didn't lose that game because you got a bad call from the refs. You got dominated by a team with less talent than you. Jack writes, saying if maybe Jake stopped having callers that are fake Jet fans, this team would win. Well, I'll tell you what, Jack. I actually just spoke to Woody Johnson. He just buzzed me in my ear. He said, if I send you to Stupid Town, the Jets are winning Sunday. Goodbye.
Why can't I be quarterback, huh?
Hit me, I'm open.
Hi.
That's why. Now sit down and shut up.
It'll be one of those shows, isn't it? Anyway, hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line and go towards tonight's dinner fund. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of great Jet fans, we say hello right now to B-Mac.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, B-Mac.
Yeah, well, like I said this morning, I'm still standing behind this team, thinking then, and once we get to that 7-loss mark, then I will tap out. But I still think that this team still has the capability of going on a big run. But I'm not gonna lie, there are some issues, you know what I mean? Well, you know, for what I'm seeing, like again, Sunday in that second half, man, like, you know, was really concerning because it seems like after that pick, they just like it's like they didn't want to be there no more. So, but I do want to say is this, like, I know Devontae came out and, you know, and he said what he said and said, you know, said what he said in the locker room. And do you think, and it kind of leads back to Rodgers, like, we all know that Rodgers is not a vocal leader, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a rah-rah guy. Like, me watching Rodgers, his entire career on the sideline, you know, he doesn't amp up people like we saw it on Sunday night. Like, he just sits there and sulking. Like, do you think he needs to be more like Tom Brady, hype guys up, get guys going, instead of like this sitting there like a statue?
B-Mac, hey you hater guy, Allen sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
I do need more from Rodgers this week, especially. And he talked about it on McAfee the other day, like the energy level being low. He's like, that started with me. I got to be better there. Like, I liked what I heard. I'll do it. I think there's something to that. I think Rodgers puts a lot of pressure on himself. I think he's pressing now, too. We talked about this with Garrett and Brees earlier this year, and I think Brees is coming out of it. He's been good the last 2 games. I think they're pressing. Man, being the Jets just eats you alive, man. It really is. It's just, it's hard. And they got to just, that's why Rodgers was talking about, having fun, playing loose. Because the sense is, it's like, it's not fun right now. Like every bad play, it's like, oh, here we go again. Woe was me. Like they're feeling sorry for themselves. They got to just play football. And this is the week to get it right because you're playing a crap team. Got to get a win. Peter Castro says, raising prices and featuring Reddick makes me sick. Well, a lot of things make you sick, Peter. We know that. Danny B writes in, we're a group of sick individuals who think the Jets can still get it done. We just love to get hurt. I don't think they're going to get it done for the record, Danny, but I'm also talking about this team every day. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, all right, it's over. Well, that's it. No more show. Like, no. They're not eliminated yet. They're playing the crappy-ass Patriots. Win and then give me false hope for 3 days before I go to MetLife and probably watch them lose again in primetime. I haven't done that enough over the last couple of years. But seriously, like, that's really what it comes down to, man. And, like, if you want legitimate hope, the last 4 years in the NFL and 5 of the last 6 years, there's been a team that has been 2-5 that has made the playoffs. Maybe the Jets need an epic way to do it to break this drought. That's it. John Gotti says, let's sacrifice Jake Klein and Allen, please. The curse will be lifted. I'll tell you what, if you guys want Allen in the hole, I need dinner paid for it tonight. So first person to get the 5 spot of memberships, Allen, we'll see your day end early. Am I kidding? I guess we'll find out. Steve's up next. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Jake. How you doing?
Living the dream, baby.
I don't want to take up too much time. I haven't spoken to you in a while. I just wanted to, maybe it's a little corny, but these are such tough times. And thank you so much for continuing during this horror. Like, I have trouble talking to my children because I made them Jet fans. Like, I can't even imagine being you these days. It's so freaking painful.
It's brutal, man. And this is as disappointing of a season in the history of the franchise. Like, it's right there with any of them.
Here's what's interesting. And my kids are old enough where they're like smart. So, like, of course the season's over. I mean, of course it's not. But there's 10 games left. Like, usually we feel this way. And it's like, it's pretty easy to say, wow, we have to win like 4 the next 5. And it's not close to being the end of the season.
I tried to hold on there for you, Steve, because, I'm a fan of yours, but the phone connection wasn't allowing it. Your connection was actually worse than how the Jets have played this year, which is saying something. Michael with a super chat. It feels like the Salah regime has really poisoned us badly. Another complete flush. Thanks for what you do. I mean, if it keeps trending this way, you got to start over. You can't bring Douglas back and let him pick another coach. I don't think he can. Now, maybe Woody will do that, though, because he truly thinks Douglas is the right football guy. He made a mistake with Salah. He'll let him pick another coach. Maybe. But how do we know Douglas hasn't lost power here? Woody's the one making the Devontae deal, getting it done. He's the one who's getting the Reddick deal. How do we know Joe Douglas, who's a free agent, by the way, his contract's just up. You wouldn't have to fire him. How do we know that, one, Woody truly wants to bring Douglas back if this season ends up being 5 or 6 wins or 7 even? And 2, from a Douglas standpoint, I think he would come back because, like, he's not getting another GM job. But are we sure Joe Douglas wants to be here? If he feels like the owner's not going to let him basically have the autonomy he used to have. Now, I think some of that's a little overrated because, like, dude, Joe Douglas, your record's 29-61. If, like, the Jets actually wanted to extend you, you're going to say no because the owner meddles? Where else are you going to be a GM, dude? These jobs. See, I also think it's a little overrated when we hear people say, well, no one's going to want to come here. That's not true. These jobs are hard to get. They pay extraordinarily well. It's 1 of 32. Coach and GM. They will be able to get good candidates. I'm not worried about that. Now, will there be a jet tax you got to pay to get some of the top guys? Yeah. You know what? Last I checked, Woody Johnson can afford it. And he's raising your prices for season tickets. So if I got to pay extra money to beat out, Jacksonville to hire Mike Vrabel, I'm doing it. Or I got to spend extra money so I could get Kevin Stefanski if Cleveland fires him, I'm doing it. They'll be able to get a qualified candidate. It's just who's that guy's going to be, and do you trust the Jets to pick the right one? I mean, they haven't gotten the head coach and GM tandem right in as a pair since Tannenbaum hired Rex Ryan. That was the last time you had coach and GM both above average at each position, and then it obviously fell off. JJ says Rex can't even get a defensive coordinator job. Just stop. Well, and that's actually not true. Rex could have been a DC many times. He chose not to. He interviewed for a few select jobs they thought were good fits, and he ultimately didn't take it. It's funny. I always thought Rex would be a great college coach. Now, with NIL, forget it. It's a little different now. But I always thought Rex would be unbelievable as a college coach because Rex's personality, he would come into a kid's living room, and the parents would want to send him there right away. But he never went down that path. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are seeking channel memberships. If you want to become an Asmaniac, you hit the join button, and you can do it the old-fashioned way, or make sure you're subscribed to the channel, you like the video, and you turn on, hey, I want to receive gift receipts, and then maybe someone will gift you a membership. Joseph says, Rex isn't a candidate. Stop it. That's something Joe B would say. I'm not advocating necessarily for the Jets to hire him. I am just telling you that when the Jets conduct head coaching interviews, we are going to be doing a breaking news show on this channel reacting to the Jets interviewing Rex Ryan for their head coaching opening. He will get an interview. I am telling you right now, Rex will get a head coaching interview. Here's the thing with Rex. He could coach. He is a bad general manager. When he started having influence over the decisions the team was making in the draft and in free agency, that's when it went downhill. If we can get a GM like Eric Mangini and Rex could coach the players, they'd win games because Rex won with Mangini's players, and then he brought in Jim Leonard. He brought in Bart Scott. He brought in his guys to mold the team, combined with some good moves by Tannenbaum, right? Trading for Braylon Edwards, trading for Santonio Holmes, signing Jason Taylor, signing LaDainian Tomlinson, and that kind of solidified the team. But I'm telling you, Joseph, I think Rex will get an interview. Also, if they had Rex now, they would not be 2-5 right now. Just saying. You think this team's coming out flat with Rex Ryan as their coach in primetime with their season on the line? No chance. 25 with a super chat. He cuts the line. Might make it to T2. Depends on my boys. Thankfully, the ride from Long Island DZ, I won't be absolutely trash this time unless the Jets lose. T-Squared Social, baby. If you're coming from Long Island, just take the train right to the Grand Central, and you will be there ready to roll. If you've never been to one of my watch parties, folks, here's what it looks like.
The official, in case the timeout was needed, it wasn't because Hall's taken off to the end zone, in for the touchdown. Steelers get the pressure. Rodgers knows where to go with it. Breece Hall on the run. Hall into the secondary. Past the tackler at the 20. Breece Hall inside the 10. Challenge. He dropped the flag before he could throw it, so Rodgers instead runs the play, and it's a touchdown to Conklin.
You know what's so funny watching that? You would have thought the Jets destroyed the Steelers. What a night it was. And then the second half started. Then the last 2 minutes of the first half started. And then that was all she. Oh, like, seriously, you watch that? It's like, oh, how many did the Jets win by 30? No, they actually got outscored by 31 in the second half. It's amazing. 25, if you do show up, though, man, make sure you don't fall asleep like last time.
25.
In the year
25, 25.
25, 25.
Is he ever gonna stay alive?
25, 25.
Incredible. C with a super chat. He cuts the line. More of your calls in a moment. Watch the pivot episode with Rex that just came out yesterday. Rex had me wanting to run through a brick wall. Definitely deserves an interview. He should be interviewed. I agree. I have no problem with that. Honestly, think about this, right? Look at all the young coaches in the NFL that are struggling. Experience does matter, man. It does matter. Dan Quinn's having a lot of success right now with the Commanders. You know, JJ last year called in, wanted Dan Quinn. I thought it was nuts, but you know what? Guys do get better. Todd Bowles having a lot of success right now. Now, Bucs fans still want to kill him, was my understanding, too, because he had Godwin in that game so late. But he's obviously done a very good job. He won a division last year. You know, a lot of guys with their second opportunity tend to do better. I mean, Belichick's probably the best example of that, but, you know. I guess, did we count Belichick's one-day stint as the Jet coach? Was it really his third opportunity? I don't know. 25 says, up to the Jets and not me. If they lose, I'm going hard. All right, so the Jets basically need to win, so 25 doesn't destroy T-squared. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was at T-squared this past Sunday for the watch party. The Hamburger's on the line. Hello, Hamburger.
Yo, what's up, Jake?
Oh, we got a special guest in the car.
Yeah, I picked my daughter up, so she's riding with me. Hey, you know, she says she has a favorite on the show, and who's your favorite? Gary.
Really?
Why is Gary your favorite? Yeah, believe it or not.
Because he makes things up.
Because he makes things up.
He does. That's a great part.
Yeah, I wish you guys would have had a picture of me after the second half sitting in my seat slumped over as the Mets lost and as the Jets did nothing.
I
mean,
felt terrible for you that night, Hamburger. You were locked in the boat, and just watching hope leave your body was brutal.
Dude, I was so pumped. I'm amping everybody up, and then the second half comes, and I'm just like slouched in my seat, just like in misery. Hand me another beer, please. So, listen, you know, you talk about irreparable damage. You know, I met my wife in 2007. She was a blank slate. She didn't have a baseball team. She didn't have a football team she followed. So, you know, in 2007, I bring her on. She watches the Jets. We go in 2009, 2010. All's great. You know, the Mets have some magic things there with them and some certain points, but me and her go to the field all the time. We end up getting a brick. But now, you know, after years, she stopped watching the Jets. She fell in love with Mahomes because he put on a Mets jersey one day and rocks the Mets. And finally, I wheel her back in 2 years ago. And now it's like she's looking at me and she's like, I don't know if I can, like, do this. And now all my kids have Aaron Rodgers jerseys. They're all rocking everything. And it's like, look at this face. This is what we got to do. Like, torture people like this.
I know.
Sweet children. But listen, you know, Rex Ryan brings up great points. I was so pissed when I heard that Devontae had to say that after 6 days. I mean, where's the leadership on this team? Not even the coaches. Like, where's the leader on the team? The captains that are supposed to be rounding the team up. Like Mosley, Williams, Aaron, all these guys. It's such dysfunction right now, and it's, you know, every day it gets worse. Reddick not talking. What a chicken shit, man. Like, for real. I mean, it's just, I have zero good feelings right now. I hope we get a win Sunday. You know, I'm just preparing myself for the worst. But, listen, I hope we bounce back. I hope we put some wins together. I'd like to watch some winning football. You know, I don't want to start watching with my wife and watching the Chiefs and, you know, supporting her because now she's happy and, like, whatever. Like, I just, you know, I want some happiness. I'm sure like everybody else does that calls in on this program. I mean, even Alan. Listen, I understand the way Alan is. Alan, like, he sees it for what it is. It's a joke right now. That's why he laughs. And I don't know, man. I hope you guys, I can't make it Sunday. I have a Halloween karaoke party at my house, so I have people coming over. So I am going to be in no shape to go and travel to Manhattan. But the next one, I'm going to try to go there and try to bring Mrs. Hamburger with me. But,
I love it.
Listen, you guys have a great day. Jake, again, thank you. You're on therapy.
I appreciate it, Hamburger. Shout out to your daughter as well. I would tell her it gets better as a Jet fan, but I'd be lying because right now it hasn't. It's been brutal. God. So this has been the most disappointing season, and I thought that was last year. But last year's hell was supposed to pay off with a great season this year. I'm not even saying Super Bowl, but winning football, playoffs, maybe a division. Brutal. Nate writes in, my great-grandfather died on Monday, and he's the only one in my family to truly experience the Jets Super Bowl. He was 98, Jake. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nate. Thoughts to you and your family, and obviously 98. You had a great run. It's a long time to live. Now, I will say this, though, Nate. I will have to make this joke. If the Jets do rattle off 10 in a row and win the Super Bowl, we know it was your grandfather that was cursed. So he helped this franchise out. If that's the case. Now, do I think the Jets are going to rattle off 10 in a row and then win the Super Bowl? Probably not. But I will bring this up. All right, we have it on the record. But seriously, thanks for watching the show and condolences. Ryan says, what do you think will happen with Greg Zuerlein? I mean, I thought he could get cut this week. Clearly, he's the kicker for this week. I mean, we'll see how he kicks in New England. I mean, in theory, the Jets should be able to move the ball against the Patriots because they stink. So if he's missing field goals, PATs, he's gone, man. He's gone. You could argue he should be gone now. Tom Ace writes in, I got an email from the Jets to submit my nominations for the Jet Fan Hall of Fame. I think we need to get Charles in the Hall. Ha! Charles Gorman in the Hall. By the way, how crazy is it that the Jet Fan Hall of Fame doesn't have Beningo in it? Isn't that nuts? Just saying. Let's say hello to Michael Levinson, who's next. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Jake. It's funny that his daughter made that comment about Gary. I was cracking up over here. And you know what's funny? I owe him an apology. I got caught up in the chat last night. Everyone was going at him, and I sent that super chat calling him a moron. All right? You know what? I don't know him. He's a nice guy. But you know what? I shouldn't have done it. So if you're listening, Gary, I do apologize. It's just that when he brings up Bowers and what is he doing this year? Okay, but for 3 weeks, there's no Jacoby Myers. There's no Devontae Adams. He's the number one target. Of course he should be doing that. He tells something, but he doesn't get the whole story out.
Of course.
Gary,
He only says things that try to fit his narrative. But also, like Bowers could be good. That was never the concern, I think, for most Jet fans who didn't want him. It was more about just the position he plays versus depth on the O-line. Or if you're going to go weapon, you're more comfortable with a top 10 receiver in that spot.
And you know what? I got to tell you, I heard you this morning, and Saleh had a very loose locker room. It's just so obvious. It's, you know what? I don't know what they're going to do, but the Haason Reddick thing, Douglas had a contract for him week 3. He chose to turn it down.
Right.
He could have been, and now he changes agents and he takes the contract. That's not on Douglas. That's on Reddick. Okay. And you're right. He's just here for the money. I mean, I had season tickets, Jake, for 16 years, from 96 to 2009 to the stadium open. I started at $30 a pop to $180. Okay. And never once did he want money before the season ended or this early. That's just ridiculous and raising the price. But that's greed these days. That's how it is. One last thing, Jake. Tomorrow you're going to have Fireman Ed on?
Fireman Ed will be with us tomorrow at 10 a.m. in his weekly spot. Yep.
Okay, I need a favor. I'm going to call in. I want to speak to him because he had an interaction with my friend's sister at a game in 2000, and I just want to remind him of it. It just shows what he was to the fans. So if you see me tomorrow morning, if you could put me on with him, I'd really appreciate it.
Michael, all the love, man. I appreciate your call. I mean, the season ticket thing, man, it's just, even if you're going to raise the prices, right, like every team does, inflation, whatever excuse they want to come up with, did you need to send the reminder this week? Couldn't you push it back a little bit? Maybe you wait till after you beat the Patriots first, just so the vibes aren't as low as they are right now. Brutal. Adam in the house. He says we are one discount double check away from 12-5. Energy is needed. Sign me up for that. Let's go, baby.
Let's get brick up.
We're going to see Woody in the locker room after the game with the game ball for Jeff Ulbrich after his first win on Sunday. Alan writes in, Gary is a lovable moron. He is a legend. Pissing people off is a great talent. Alan even trying to be like nice, he just can't help himself with being a douchebag with the backhanded comment. Lovable moron. Bo with a super chat of $10. Oh, baby, man. Let's go. I appreciate you, Jake. True dedication, doing what you do with a slow starting season. Have a drink on me. Respect. Bo, thank you. Unfortunately, I've done this show now for 4 Jet seasons, counting this one. And they have not had a winning season in any of them. Now, I will say, 21 was okay. You knew what that was. You know, it was a 2-14 team the year before with a first-year coach, rookie quarterback. Like, I wasn't dying after every loss. Like, I didn't expect anything from that team. I really wasn't. 2022 was exciting because they start 0-2, but then at one point they were 6-3. And then the wheels came off. And then they were 7-4, and then Mike White got hurt. Last year sucked from the beginning, but at least they gave you some fight. They were 4-3 before they imploded. This year, we had the 2-1 great win on September 19th against the Pats, and now it's hell. This has been the worst by far. AZ Jet says Arizona pizza is crap. There you go. I knew it had to be. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline right now is 25.
25.
In the year 25.
25.
Is he ever gonna stay alive?
25.
What up, brother?
25, your thoughts on everyone thinking you died the other night?
I thought it was hilarious. I went back. I didn't even realize that I was still on the line, but I went back and I was reading the chat. People were like, he's on heroin because I was moving. But yeah, I went to the bar with my boys. I probably had 10 beers there, came home, and I almost pounded a 12-pack. I woke up in my chair at my desk, went right to sleep, still had an open beer on my desk, and it was just over. 3 blunts, it was over, but I will be there. I was talking to my boys, and I'll be there at least.
You're bringing the crew? I want to meet the 25. Hold on. I want to meet the 25 crew on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll probably be there. I mean, I'll be there. I got no work, so why not?
All right, let's go, baby.
Yeah, I live in Long Island, so it's mad easy. The only thing that sucks is where I live. I'm in Suffolk County, so the train station closest to my house, I have to transfer not only at Babylon, then I got to transfer at Jamaica to then get to Grand Central. So I'm thinking about going out of a different place, but I'll be there for sure. But just a few points that I wanted to bring up, I guess, the last show that I fell asleep on. Why is Greg Zuerlein not cut? Like, did we not see this during training camp or anything? We let go of Austin Siebert, and go look at Austin Siebert's stats on the Commanders. He's on my fantasy team. He shows up every week. And we have Greg, who was elite the last 2 years, and now he just can't hit a kick. It's just our luck. I just don't understand why we didn't even keep Siebert. Were we scared that he was going to be signed? Was he showing up that well that we were scared if we put him on the practice squad he'd get signed?
I think in hindsight they should have just kept him, but I think Siebert was better than Zuerlein over the summer too, by the way. Like, we saw that. But they were not going to cut Greg Zuerlein because then the backlash would be, what if you have Siebert as your kicker? He misses a crucial kick, and it's like, why would you get rid of Greg Zuerlein? He had a bad preseason. Who cares? Like, the guy was money the last 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Jets were afraid of the public perception of moving on from Zuerlein. But now, that was then. Now you know the guy is really struggling. I am surprised that they didn't sign his replacement this week. I guess they figured we got blown out. That gives us some cover to hope that he can get his mental right and be good again this week. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see, because they should be able to score points at will on New England, and he's going to get opportunities. If he misses one PAT, one kick, he shouldn't be the kicker for Thursday against Houston.
I can't think of one player that we kept even on the practice squad or the active roster that would have, or lower tier active roster that was better than Austin Siebert.
He would have been claimed by now, though. They wouldn't still have Siebert.
Probably. Okay. But I think that falls into the Joe Douglas thing, because I'm getting deja vu of running out the same people, even though week in, week out, they show us that they should not be on the field. Give somebody else the opportunity, just like Zach Wilson. We all knew he couldn't play. They kept trotting him out, didn't sign a quarterback, and I'm getting deja vu right now with multiple positions. You keep trotting out Tyron Smith. You keep trotting out Michael Clemens. You keep trotting out Greg Zuerlein. Like, there's plenty of positions that you could point to where it's like, You already took a shot by firing the coach, and that hasn't changed so far. Why not take a shot and I would rather have Eric Watts play over Michael Clemens.
Agreed.
Kinlaw play over Michael Clemens, yet Clemens continues to see the field. That's why I said earlier today, with Reddick being back, I don't care if he's playing for himself. I think he's a loser and a bum. I think what they did on social media by showing him was a disgrace. They should have did what they recently did, showing every defensive lineman going through a practice rep with Haason Reddick involved. Not just show him standalone walking on. No one cares. And I'm sorry, but no one gives a fuck. Nobody. After everything that he's done, worst holdout in history, in my opinion, easily the worst holdout in Jets history. You can say Le'Veon Bell. We can take that right out now. You can say Darrelle Revis. You can take that right out now. At least the other guys were either acknowledged it was wrong or realized that, or was on the team before, like in Revis's case. But I just don't understand why we keep trotting out things. We're already made a big change and tried something else. Why are we continuously doing the same thing over and over again? I hope this week they do a lot of things that we haven't seen so far.
Yeah,
I
good call,
really do.
25. Good call. I look forward to meeting you in person Sunday. Look, here's the thing. There's only so many things they could change. One of them to me would be kicker right away. One of them to me is Fashion, who starts at left tackle this week. Which, by the way, I don't rule out that happening. I don't think the Jets are going to publicly announce that, though. Remember, when AVT was started at left tackle last year, or right tackle, they were like, they surprised the Patriots with it in week 3. So there's gamesmanship involved in that. But, there's things they should do. Bob writes in, you do realize if they release Zerline, someone will pick them up and it'll go 17 out of 17 for the rest of the year. That's the Jet fan mentality, man. We are a beaten bunch. I can't even tell you you're wrong. Dave says, Long Island, one of the worst places to travel in the USA. I avoid it unless absolutely necessary. Yeah, getting to Long Island or getting off Long Island, if you're driving, miserable. If you're coming from Manhattan, take the train. Best way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, super chats keep flying off the shelves. AZ Jets. Danico. Best chicken parm in NYC, hands down. I'm going to add that to my list. Should I go there for dinner tonight, AZ? Danico. Let me see if Gary will fly in from Texas. We'll get a little chicken parm. We know how much he loves chicken and pasta. Get some rigatoni on the side. Danico. Let's see where Danico is. I could use some good chicken parm. It's been a tough week. Danico is... Oh, it's in Lower Manhattan. Okay. I know exactly where this is. Noted. Thank you, AZ Jets, for the recommendation. Keith writes in with a super chat. Can we also give Corley a shot at returns? Gibson stinks. Agreed. I mean, that's something they could do right away. I don't get the Xavier Gibson fascination. Also, I don't want to hear from Todd Downing, well, it's really not about Corley being inactive. It's just how good our wide receiver room is. That's why he's not playing. I mean, excuse me, I watched an end zone target to Herb Charles last Sunday. Corley really can't play over Gibson? If you want Charles out there for his special teams, fine. But come on, man. I don't need to pick on Xavier Gibson. He won them a game last year. It's one of the craziest games I'll probably ever go to in my life. But you can't tell me that Corley can't have a role. But here's the thing, right? We could bitch about this. He'll make no impact on the game. Like, this is just something to add to the list of things we want to complain about. It makes no impact. Corley's not going to be a difference maker. At least not now. The difference makers on this team, a la your stars, on offense and defense, need to play better, including the quarterback. Danny writes in, Ribalta, NYC, Jake. Best authentic Italian food in the city. Ribalta. Where's this? This might become a food channel by the time we get done with this Jets season. Ribalta on East 12th Street. Not far from the other place that was just recommended. You can take the subway right to Union Square and you're right there. All right, looks good. I appreciate it. Send in your Italian, Rex. Seems like that kind of show. 25 with a super chat. Corley's just a wasted third rounder right now. Yeah, Will McDonald was a wasted first rounder a year ago, so never always judge a draft pick right away. But I would like to see Corley play. I mean, it's frustrating. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerome the Packer fan is up next on the Gus Buster Hotline. There is no one on hold after Jerome, so I'll stay on for a little while longer. If you want to call in and be a part of the show, now is your time to make some noise and do it. Jerome, you're next. What's up, Jerome?
Okay, let me pull over so I can get a better view of me. I see everybody, man. Yeah. You know what, though, Jay? What that last caller was saying, that's what might have to happen. If you got guys that's messing up in the game, not producing, even the stars, you may have to pull some people off the bench and see what you got, and see what works and see what light a spark. I remember years ago with the Chicago Bulls. I remember it was a playoff game. I think it was Portland they were playing. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all of them got pulled. And the bench came in there and gave them life. And then Jordan and them got back in the game and put the game away. But had Phil Jackson not pulled them and then put those others in there, they probably don't win that game. So that might be something y'all might have to think about. You know, I love this Jet fan base. I've been in the trenches with you guys. I said I wasn't going anywhere because I am a Jet fan. They all my AFC team. Just like I'm a Packer fan. I've grown to love all the different characters, the Gators, the V-Mans, B-Mac, that's actually my boy. I love Allen and Gary. They so silly. And my buddy Dre. But y'all have to have this. This is the mentality y'all have to have. Y'all have to try anything to get a spark. And again, till y'all get to 7 games, I'm going to hold out hope. And y'all have to look at it like this. 1 game at a time. Every week, y'all have to have let's go 1-0.
Yep.
Let's just worry about 1 game. Let's go 1-0 this week. Okay, we got this one. Let's go 1-0 this week. Okay, we got this one. You get on a run that way. That's the mindset you got to have. Just 1 game at a time. 1 game at a time. And I think y'all can get there, man. Y'all ain't got the 7 losses yet. So the reality is 12-5 can still be a reality. They get on this run and they get things. It can happen. Rodgers, he's going to.
I'm curious because in the last 4 years there has been a 2-5 team that's made the playoffs, including your team last year. So what was the vibes like with the 2-5 Packers a year ago at this time? What changed?
Oh, we was writing Jordan Love off. We was writing them off. I think Matt LaFleur. They had this heart to heart. The team was young and exuberant, and they didn't really get down because of the youth and the exuberance they had with each other. And it's like they rallied around each other. It's like we all knew, we're all young, we're growing together here. We can figure this out together. We're gonna be here for a while. Let's just keep plugging away at it and see where the chips land where they may. It's just, I don't know. They took it 1 game at a time.
You guys were actually 3-6 last year. I just looked it up. So the Packers started 2-5. You beat the Rams 20-3, 3-5. Lost at Pittsburgh 23-19, 3-6. Then you rattled off 3 straight, lost 2 straight, won 3 straight to end the year to go 9-8. So it really wasn't just like straight up after the 2-5 start. There were some lows before another winning streak.
We just kept plugging away. I remember it was talk in the locker room. We blocked out all the noise. Nobody was on their social medias. We just kind of put our blinders on and just had our face to the grind, and it worked out. But what they have to do in that locker room is just put their face to the grind, block out all the noise with the media and everything, and just play loose, play free, get the get the disciplinary and stuff down, and 1 game at a time. Just try not to think about losing another game or going, having 7 losses. Like we had 5, we stopped the bleeding. Let's just 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 every game. 1-0,
Jerome. Yeah.
And that's how y'all got to look at it. That's how I got to look at it.
I appreciate it, Jerome. Good call. So I looked it up. That Rams game, Stafford was hurt. Brett Rippon started at quarterback, so they killed him. Well, the Rams last year were 3-6. Patriots are worse this year for the Jets. Win on Sunday, and the rest takes care of itself. Now, I called the Jets out yesterday for posting Haason Reddick. I thought it was ridiculous. This was 6 minutes ago. I just grabbed this. Hi at Haason Reddick. They just posted this on their Twitter account. I'm sure they shared it on Instagram too. What a joke. Who's ever running the Jets socials? Stop. It's tone deaf. There's no reason to accentuate or highlight Haason Reddick right now. He quit on the team the first 7 weeks of the year. He's only here for money. He doesn't even speak to the media. So that's the conduit. So people are like, oh, who cares? He didn't speak to the media. The media is the conduit to the fan base. So we could hear from Haason Reddick. Maybe if he says, hey, the past is the past. I promise all the Jet fans, I'm here to help this team win. I believe in the guys. Even if you say, oh, who cares if he says that? Maybe if you hear it from him, maybe you'll be like, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a chance. That's sincere. But he ducked the media, which is ducking you, the fans. And then the Jets are going to post this. Are you kidding me? Why would you post this if you're the New York Jets? You raise season ticket prices, and now Hassan's back. A reminder that you're 2-5, and we're sharing this for the second day in a row. We posted a video of the guy coming out to practice for the first time all year. Now we're going to say, oh, look at Haason Reddick. Let's highlight him. It's just another reminder this team is a disaster right now. Hi, Haason Reddick. Hi, guy who quit on the team the first 7 weeks of the year. I mean, seriously, man. Tone deaf. And then the owner, whoever runs Woody's Twitter account, tweeted something the other day, too, about Reddick. Like, good to see you as a Jet, Haason. Like, shut up, man. What are you doing? I'm like, am I wrong here, man? Like, I feel like this is ridiculous. 25. Is this Photoshop? I mean, if you could have fooled me if we didn't know that he actually signed a contract. Hit the like, says Danny. Frank says, first time in 57 years, I'm not going to watch the Jet game. They're a big disappointment. It'd be funny if they lose, but you cannot fire the owner. I mean, here's the thing. I'm still going to watch every game. You only get 17 of them all year. Now, if they fall out of it, I get it. You're not going to watch, but like, I don't know. There's 10 games left, man. You're not going to watch it all. Like, this is a game they should win. I hate this team, though. I hate everyone. I really do. If we could burn the entire franchise to the ground and start over with a new one, I would press the button and do it. It's just horrible. Horrible.
Let's not drop the challenge flag.
More of your calls right now. Kyle Clifton's next. What's up, Kyle?
You're not wrong on Reddick. I think that's part of the role, though, with the social media teams. You know, if they're 3-13 down the line, they still got to pump out content, and sometimes that means being a little tone deaf. I don't particularly like it either, but there's not much we can do about it.
Yeah, but it's so easy just to tweet a photo of like Garrett and Devontae at practice today. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Other ideas for the direction of the show if the season continues to circle the drain. You could add Charles as a permanent co-host, comics and video games, arts and crafts, maybe politics. There's a whole bunch of avenues that the Jake Asman show can go down, I'm pretty sure.
We definitely will have to reach out to Charles Gorman's representatives to get him more heavily featured in the show if the season keeps going where it's going, no doubt.
Yep. So I wanted to take issue a little bit with one of your comments before about Rex. I think for the same reason that you think that they have public perception issue with Zerline versus Austin Siebert is the same reason they can't bring in Rex for an interview. I think the fans love Rex. I think that they would get clobbered in the media if they brought Rex in for an interview, and here's why. It would just be too easy for all these pundits and talking heads to go, same old Jets, they're bringing in retreads. This guy, the game has passed this guy by. They're hiring him because he's a fan. There'd be all sorts of different narratives that they would have ready-made, and I don't know that we have the skin for that at this point. Your thoughts on that?
I don't. So I think that is why he ultimately wouldn't get the job, right? I think that would play a part into it. But I do think he'll get an interview. You could kill you have to interview whoever you want to interview. You know what I mean? Like they're going to interview a bunch of guys for that job. I think Rex will get an interview.
I mean, he's a good motivator, and he knows defense. I mean,
And
they'd
you know
have.
what? To be fair to Rex, he hired a tremendous coaching staff when he was with the Jets. He did like that. Look at the amount of future head coaches were on that staff in 09 and 2010.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're going to continue to want to run the 3-4 like he did back in the day, they're going to have to change personnel up a little bit. That's one consideration. I don't know how many guys are coming out of school now that are those 3-4 nose tackles that we needed to have to kind of run that effectively. You know,
He would have to
I don't know.
adapt. There's no doubt. He would have to
Yeah.
adapt. I don't think he's going to get the job, but I do think he's going to get an interview.
Yep. All right. Thanks for your time as ever, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you, man. Super chat from Bo. He cuts the line. This game should be considered a tryout. Go quarter per quarter and audition everyone per performance. 53 deep, 53 options. You got to win the game, Bo. I get what you're saying, but you got to win the game, man. Play your best players. Win the damn game. ISU says, I hear Sbarro is the best Italian place around. Well, if you want an authentic New York slice, ISU, you know you got to go to Sbarro's, man. Michael Scott told me that. 25 writes in. That's photos. I already read that one. So I skipped your super chat, Bo. My bad. Danny B writes in, they better draft a quarterback in the first round this year. I don't want to hear about drafting more pieces to put around Rodgers. You're not winning or relevant in this league if you don't hit on a quarterback. Washington's the perfect example. Yeah, I mean, regardless what happens the rest of the way, I've always felt like this would be the year they would strongly consider first-round QB. I mean, if they're picking in the top 10, it's a no-brainer. I don't even know who the quarterbacks are going to be yet that are the top guys. It might be a terrible class and you can't do it, but we'll see. You know, I think either way, I mean, even if Rodgers is here next year, you can't picture him playing beyond next year. You got to have a long-term answer. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Tommy on the Gusbuster line. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, I can't believe we're talking about the draft and the future of this place again. It's just so unbelievably frustrating after all the years that we've talked. This is supposed to be the year. I just can't believe this is where we're at. And I just talking a little bit about before, people talk bringing Rex in might be bad optics. I mean, who cares? I mean, what the optics are. Someone needs to be able to fire this team up. We thought it might be Ulbrich, but it's seeming like it's not him, or it's going to take more time. Because, I mean, Devontae is coming in, been here for, a week, and he's saying that the locker room's dead and there's no fight and there's no spirit. And I think that's really damning on the coaching staff, whether it was Saleh, whether it's Ulbrich now. There needs to be a fundamental culture change, and I don't think Rex would be a bad pick at all.
I don't disagree. What would concern you about Rex is, as the game passed him by, he hasn't coached in the NFL in 8 years. Who's his staff? Who's his play caller? Right? What's the plan at quarterback? Like, is Rodgers his guy for a year and then they're going to draft someone? Like, it's not the worst plan, but who's the guy developing the guy behind Rodgers? Like, there's a lot of questions with that. But I'll tell you what, you gave Rex this team, he'd get the most out of them. He took one of the worst rosters I've ever seen the Jets have and went 8-8 with them in 2013.
I think he's a good coach, and I mean, he's not been in the league for a while. Is Douglas going to be the GM next year if this season continues like it's been? There's certainly a lot of questions, but I would not hate to see Rex back at this team. I think he's the kind of guy we need.
Tommy, good call, man. Appreciate it. I think what it comes down to is if they go the experience route, there's guys that I'd want ahead of Rex, but he's going to get an interview. Francesco writes in, how are we the only team that doesn't get the dead coach bounce? Even Jeff Saturday got one. I was thinking about this. I'm so glad you wrote this, Francesco. You're so right. Every other team gets the dead coach bounce, but the Jets, who've never fired a coach in season. They finally do it, and they're 0-2. And, like, the whole point of the firing of Saleh was supposed to be to spark the team, energy, right? That's what he's talking about. And they're coming out flat with, in theory, their season on the line on Sunday Night Football in front of the whole country. How? I'll tell you how. Because Saleh's culture was rotted. Has to be. Because that's the only explanation. I mean, Davante Adams has been here for 10 minutes and he recognized it. I'm glad he said it, but it's damning on what that locker room is like right now. I don't care what anyone says. Nick Ferrier tried to say this morning, well, they're in their feelings about Saleh being gone. Not good enough. Because they had how many performances like the one we saw on Sunday did they have with Robert Saleh as the coach? Crazy. Manzo up next on the show. What's up, Manzo?
Yo, what's good, bro? Yo, real quick, I'm sorry. Can I swear on this or no?
I prefer if you don't, but
all right. I don't want to let it slip. Yo, is Bobby going to Packers?
Is Bobby
Robert Saleh?
He
I
was,
call him Bobby.
Yeah, they hired him for like an advisory role.
All right, well, good for him. Get some money. I don't know, bro. It is what it is. To be honest with you, with the Haason Reddick stuff, it's like, I don't know. Like, he holds out, right? He holds out and he wants to get paid, which I get it. Like, you want to get your bag, but to come back to the team and for us to be like, yeah, you're cool. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm never gonna wish any ill will, of course. But if he does nothing, it's almost kind of like a karma thing, because then he's gonna have to go somewhere and be like, well, I'm gonna have to get paid somewhere else, because like I'm not gonna stay here unless because if he's like holding out for money, and if he ain't putting up nothing, then the Jets might not pay him. I don't know. What you think he's gonna like want to stay at this point?
I mean, if Reddick doesn't play, he doesn't get paid. And like,
Yeah.
you can just bench him. So he needs to play well to try and get paid by some. I don't think he's a Jet next year, but if he wants to get paid by someone, it behooves him to play well.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I feel like he's got some karma coming to him because
Wouldn't surprise you if he got hurt. I would not be surprised. We have no
I
idea
ain't
what
even
type of shape
saying
he's
hurt.
in. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. And I ain't gonna say hurt, but I'm gonna be like a sack. Like maybe like a couple tackles.
Yeah, I mean,
like
he's playing a
hurt his
bad O
chances.
line. I mean, if he has a sack Sunday, that'd be nice. And then more importantly, can he put pressure on Stroud a week from tonight? Because that's what it's about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's gonna be a mess. But I just feel like even going down to fucking my fault. Even going down to Devontae Adams, like that's so cool. Like he is awesome. He's top 5 receiver. He's awesome. But at the end of the day, like I don't want him to have any ill will or not do well. Obviously, I want him to perform. But it almost gets to like, and when is enough with the Jets, man? It's just wild sometimes. Like they want to make these crazy pulls, and it's cool. And I mean, right now, like firing Bobby and doing all this stuff now, like okay, it's just I don't know. I gotta see a dub. You know what I mean? I gotta see dubs. I gotta see points.
That'd be nice, Manzo. That would be nice. Points and a win. Yes, I would agree with you. It's been a problem for a long time. Crazy. The alternative factor writes in, Jets emptied all my FanDuel account. I'm done. Never bet on your team. Okay, Bill Burr.
The Jets are going to come back. No, they're not. They're never going to come back. They're never going to come back.
That comment just reminded me of King of Staten Island when he's betting on the Jets. Never bet on the Jets. Yet I have a AFC East ticket and a Jet over 9.5 win ticket. So I'm getting high on my own supply, baby. Speaking of getting high, V-Man's next. Hey, V-Man.
Hey, Jake, what's up?
You tell me, V-Man.
I'm just driving up Massachusetts. Just got into your show. Just all popped in, so I popped in. With this coaching staff, with everything that's going on, it's just been frustrating to say the least. And I get all the frustration. Talking about Rex earlier. I agree with you that has he been out of the league for too long that he's lost his touch? That would concern me there. I mean, I get like the energy part that he would definitely bring energy to this team, but there's more to coaching than just energy. It's the X's, the O's, and that stuff is very important.
Can we see some New England fall foliage? Tom Ace wants to see it. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
No, that's that way. This way's nothing. That way.
Yeah, that's fine. I know.
Okay. Hi, Jay.
Hi, V-Mom.
Hi, how are you?
I've been better, V-Mom. It's been a tough week to be a Jet fan. Tough lifetime, actually.
You could be my sister who's a Mets fan.
Well, the Mets had a great year, though. It's no shame in that. I'm ready for the Yankees, though. We're ready for the World Series.
That's the first time you've ever met my sister.
What is your sister's name?
My sister's name Ariana.
All right, I'll just call her V-Sis. We'll just keep it consistent.
No, she doesn't like that. No, Yeah, no, yeah, she's older. Yeah, but no. Yeah, no, she's great. No, she's the older one. She's the older one. I'm the younger. I'm the younger one.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we're just like I said. It's and
I'm older. He's stupider.
yeah, that's pretty much
All right, V man. Thanks for the time. We'll say goodbye to V sis and V mom as well.
Oh yeah, no thanks.
Bye, Jake.
Bye.
Goodbye, V man family.
V man is here. How we feeling?
Hi, okay.
Incredible. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. More importantly, can you subscribe to the channel if you're one of the 428 that's in here right now? We have 39,691. Can we get to 39,700 by the end of the show? Can we make it happen, people? The show is free. All you got to do is subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time during the show, a 5-spot of channel memberships is coming down.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Sam Aiken with a 5-spot. Here we go. Bronx Boy, Adam Bolong, Mr. Grimmy, Trenev A, and AJ all receiving the channel membership. Here's how you can get one for yourself. You click on Sam's name in the live chat. You click the button that YouTube gives you that says, hey, I want to receive a gifted membership. Now you're eligible to get one if you're subscribed to the channel and you, of course, like this video. It's all random based on the algorithm of who engages with the show the most. So like every video you see, comment in the chat if we're live or not live. You got a better chance to get one. More of your calls right now. Joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is Neighborhood Brown Truck Jets fan. Hello, sir.
Yo, Jay.
Oh, let's go, baby. We got a little UPS action today.
What's up, bro? I'm walking out of work right now. I'm excited to be on the show. I can't even believe I got through finally.
You're on, baby.
Yo, Jake, I'm sick and tired of hearing my own Jet fans down, bro. We're coming back, bro. This shit ain't over, bro. We got Devontae. We got Reddick. Yo, our team is a fantasy team, bro.
That's the problem. They're fantasy. They're not reality. They don't play like a team.
I get it. But I was there Thursday night with the hamburger, bro. I was over there when they last played the Patriots. We last won the game, and the crowd was crazy, man. Everybody giving high fives, saying we finally got a team. Bro, like Roger says, we got to stick together, and we're going to make it, bro. We're going to make history this year, and we're coming back, baby. We're coming back, and you're going to see us in the Super Bowl, bro. But all this negativity, everyone down. Come on, man. We got to give our boys some life, some energy. Just like Devontae said, everyone's flat. I get it. We're down. Yo, over here working with all these Giants fans and Bills fans. Bro, we're coming back. Miami's down. Yo, the whole, everyone's records. We got a chance right now. Wow, Sauce and Garrett Wilson, they're cheap right now. Bro, next year we might not even have these guys, bro. You know, so we got to make this shit happen, bro. And just think positive, bro. You're going to see history. I'm telling you, Jake, we're coming back, bro. I tell the hamburger every single morning I see him. I'm like, come on, baby. We got this. We got this.
The hamburger wrote in, my delusional neighbor. I love him.
He told me, yo, call in now. Call in now. You might get through. I've been trying, Jake, for a while, man. But I'm telling you, man, we gotta stick together, bro. And
look, they gotta win, man. We're Jet fans. We're not that hard to get us back on board. We're still here after all this, so we're not going anywhere just yet. Win Sunday, and then a week from tonight, I'll be in the building with 157 Asmaniacs who bought tickets in the section we're in, and let's get a win against the Texans, and let's go, man. Until they win, it's just what are we excited about? They've given us no reason to be excited. They're 2-5.
I know, and it's been crazy to see.
Win games, win football games. That's it.
We're going to. We go undefeated from here on, Jake. I called it.
All right. I'll tell you what. If the Jets rattle off 10 wins in a row, I will send you $1,000 cash. All right.
Oh man, yo, I'll hold you to it, bro.
Believe me, I'd be happy to pay you if that happens, my man. Good call. Call back anytime. I do like the positive spin. It's just you can't tell the Jet fan right now to be really positive when the team's 2-5 and they have a guy who's been on the team for 5 minutes, basically recognizing a huge cultural problem. Like, hard to be positive after that. Ladies and gentlemen, the hamburger's back. Hamburger, is that really your neighbor?
That's really my neighbor, bro. Yo, he is such a great dude. He's such a good family man. I love that guy. He's so positive. He really is. But he's delusional. I tell him all the time. I tell him all the time.
Hold on, he's still
You're
on the
nuts.
line. We're bringing him back. We're doing the neighborhood meetup here.
What's up, Elkin?
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? Yo,
I
you
got
are
hard.
delusional, my
Yo,
brother.
Jake, I'm telling you, I've been a fan 34 years, and I was praying for this day for us to have a team, man. And we have a team. We just need to work together.
They don't play as a team.
I know. They're gonna get there. Just like
I hope so, man.
Tiki Barber. I listen, bro. I listen to talk radio all the time. Tiki Barber even was talking great to Hackett for the longest, and he was saying at the time when they were only 5 games in, he's like, bro, they gotta learn how to play. We all seen Rodgers play amazing, but they gotta learn to play with him. He's throwing fast passes. Listen, now Devontae's here. He could coach Gary Wilson.
They got to win, man. This is it. Start winning games. Let's go.
Last week he was not. Last week Aaron was not Aaron, and Aaron looked distraught last week. And a lot of those plays were on him. Then there was a lot of plays that weren't, but he was not Aaron Rodgers last week. And let's hope he comes back to be Aaron this week. And then hopefully it's not fool's gold.
Yeah.
Listen, I love you, bro. I love you. I love your positivity. You're contagious, but I can't buy in this week yet.
How did each of you find out about the show? Did one of you tip off the other person on this show, or you both were just watchers of the Jake Asman show on your own?
Well,
I don't know.
Go ahead.
You go ahead, Elkin.
Well,
I found it online.
Yeah, I found it online. I've watched you, Boy Green. I've watched Richie from Jets Media. And, bro, I don't know if you seen Richie over there sad yesterday watching with the gooses on his walk. We got, like Roger said, we got to stick together, baby. We're going to get there. Come on, baby. The chant one more time. J-E-T-S!
Let's go!
Let's get brick up.
Look, man, I want to be positive. I do. It's just a 2-5. You're more optimistic than Neil. I mean, come on. I love it, though, man. I mean, look, win Sunday, and some of you will come back. I need to see at least 2 straight wins before I'm like, okay, there's something to happen here. Boomtown says, these are the type of guys you want to drink garage beers with. I mean, the Jet fans are the greatest, man. The people who watch this show, I've met so many amazing people these 4 years doing this. Larry with a great point. 2-5 is only 1 digit off from 12-5. Yeah, if the Jets are going to hit my win total prediction, the 10-game winning streak will start right now. Derek says, Jake, why wasn't Aaron the one to speak up in the locker room? How do we know he hasn't? It can't just be him, though. You need other people. It can't just be him. Where are the other leaders on this team? I do love that DJ Reed's back this week and Carter's back. Those guys are leaders, man. Those guys play with a tenacity and an attitude that this defense needs. DJ Reed's a UDFA, right? A 5'9" corner. Michael Carter was a day 3 pick. These guys play with that energy. Jay says, beat Houston, then talk to me. That's how I feel too, man. Beating New England is not woohoo. Yay. We did it. You should be New England. Yeetus, what happened to Angry Q? Yeah, can I see Q pissed off, man? I agree. Danny, what section are you in for Thursday's game? I think we're in 133 or 4. I gotta look. We're in an end zone. We're in one of the end zones. That I know. We bought these tickets so long ago. I have Bobby Midnight's ticket in my phone. And his brother Mikey will be in the building as well. The Jets can't lose with Bobby Midnight in the house, can they? I mean, come on. That'd be the most un-American thing ever. Notice my mug. JakeAsman.com if you want one. All right. Here we go.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children.
Is this the delusional show, this second one?
I knew you were
You
going to
have
call in and just have something to say about people trying to still be optimistic. God forbid.
You have a Packer fan who preached 14-3. I can't believe he hasn't been jettisoned after they're 2-5. I don't want to hear from a Packer fan whose team is 5-3. You have the modern day Griswolds all smoked up in the car. Like someone really gives a shit about that. And you have a guy who barely passed his UPS test who still thinks this team's going to win. And then you have a guy who forced his kid. You looked at that girl in the back of that car. She was horrified having to wear an Aaron Rodgers shirt again. Oh my God. Forcing the wife and the daughter to wear an Aaron Rodgers shirt at 2-5. Awful. I mean, this is child abuse 101. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But again, I will not be watching on Sunday, so the Jets actually might win. So
great. You will not be watching the show either.
I'm glad to be in Asman's Shadow Realm.
Into the Shadow Realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers is a glutton for fame. I don't think he loves his teammates. I think he loves attention.
GFY. First word is go, and the last word is yourself.
At least for the next 5 minutes. That's how long a trip to the Shadow Realm is a timeout for. I am glad that Alan's not watching, though. They win. You better not watch on Thursday either, Alan. You bum. Ladies and gentlemen, Felix coming through for the people. Felix, you're the man, brother. A 10 spot of channel memberships has just been gifted. Felix, even with the Jets being bad, to have your support, man, truly appreciate it. Here we go.
Felix Campos, he wonderful, wonderful guy. He gives a lot of gift memberships and loves the Jake Asman Show. Take the money.
The Roulette Grinder, Brock, Paranormal in the Funhouse, Brantley the Beast, Kevin Bean, DeCall, 6'5", BC, C Lamb, Yeetus Deletus, Cantu Renige, all receiving channel memberships. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go. 10 spot of memberships gifted for the people. We've added, let's see, 15 members this show. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. The hamburger is called back in. I'm guessing to respond to Alan. Hamburger, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm responding to Alan. I love how the guy comes on, and I don't talk crap. I gave him a compliment earlier, but he comes on like the God's gift to everything, and he comes on and just trashes everybody. My kids and my family, we stick together. We go out, we have fun at games. We love it. My kids follow what I follow, so ain't nothing wrong with that, buddy. I got kids, a family that loves me very much, so I have no problem throwing them in a jet skier. It gets a little annoying that they don't get to watch winning sometimes, but you know what? We got a great family. So enjoy that,
hamburger.
Alan.
Let's go. Let's go. That's great. Now I'll take it a step further. You love your kids love you. No one loves Alan. Well said, hamburger. That's awesome. That's what it's about, man. My kids will not have a choice. They're Jet fans. If I've went through this hellhole, they're going through it. Builds character. Danny B says, you having a pregame tailgate? Hell yeah, I am, Danny. I better see you and your Cowboy fan wife. I won't tell anyone she's a Cowboy fan, though. Come to L5. We'll be tailgating there before the game. We got the Jersey burn 90 minutes beforehand. Bunch of Asmaniacs will be there. Gonna be wild. Let's see. Haru, Adam's been here for 2 seconds and he's a leader. Yeah, I think it's an indictment on the other leaders. And I love what Devontae said. And I think it does matter that he said it because he's a Hall of Famer, right? It does carry weight. You gotta win games, man. No speeches, all this doesn't matter. Hopefully the Jets could have a Mets-like season. Mets were 11 games under 500. They started 0-5. Lindor called a players-only meeting, and the rest is history. Can we get that for the Jets? Larry says, are you wearing a costume, Jake? I was thinking about it. Should I dress up as a disgruntled Jet fan, or is that just what I wear every day? Maybe the Jets could dress up as a winning team next Thursday. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? Honestly, the Jets should wear the throwbacks that they wore against Buffalo on Halloween. Because when they wore those jerseys, they actually did some winning in them. Just an idea. I need to get like a green jacket. Like a green sport coat. I need one of those as a side note for a future Halloween-esque costume. I either gotta win the Masters or figure out a way to get one online. 1189 says, Jake, you should dress up as a head coach, which has sadly been missing here since Bill Parcells left post in 99. That's not true. They went to the playoffs 3 times with Herm. They went to the playoffs twice and won 4 road playoff games with Rex Ryan. Mangini got him to the playoffs. That's not true. Parcells was obviously great and instrumental in resurrecting the franchise because he was also the GM and turning things around. But Rex Ryan, to me, was the better coach. With the Jets, I'm talking about. EJ says, I don't understand Jet fans who want Rex back. He was not a good head coach. You could say a lot of things about Rex. To say he was not a good head coach, that is silly. He absolutely was a very, very good head coach.
At the beach laughing my ass off. All I have to say is lose out. Clean fucking house and draft Joe Alt. Merry Christmas to all the solid truthers.
Let's go, baby. Danny B, tickets are bought for Thursday. I'm ready to get hurt again. My cowboy wife says we're welcome for Greg Zerline. LOL, see you Thursday. Looking forward to it, Danny. Looking forward to it. Peter Castro says Yankees in 5. Wow, Peter. I don't know if I like this from you. You had 14-3 Jets before the year started. Can you pick the Dodgers in 5? Peter says Cole wakes up. I do think Garrett Cole is the biggest key to the Yankees winning because the best pitcher in this series is Cole by far. And the Yankees' strength has got to be their rotation. You got to get to the Dodgers starters. Got to wear out their bullpen. That's the whole key. Yeah, you could debate who's got the better lineup, who's got the better bullpen. You cannot debate which team's got the better starters. That's the Yankees. And Cole's the best pure starter in this series by far. Danny says no Yankee game Thursday. I know. The first thing I did when the World Series schedule came out was check to see if there was a game on Halloween. Because we knew the Jets were playing, and there's not. Thank God. Now, for those who missed the announcement earlier, I'll get the official graphic that ESPN New York's going to make. But I'm hosting a watch party for game 4 of the series. I'll have more details as we get closer, but to all the Yankee fans, I'll be at Vanderbilt Market, right next to Grand Central. Great sports bar they got there. We'll be watching game 4 together. Hurtis says Shohei's the best pitcher. Well, guess what? He ain't pitching. Goodbye. Great movie, by the way. Hall pass. Arizona Frankie in the house. We need a kicker. Also, Brick should play Olu. Enough with not benching players who don't perform. Should we let Rodgers sit and play Thursday? Look, Rodgers is starting. If he was more, if they weren't 2-5 and they were 5-2, maybe there's a case to be made. You let Rodgers sit, get healthy for a short week, but he's playing. Not gonna happen. I would start Olu at left tackle, though. I agree. I've had enough of Tyron Smith right now. Jason says, do you think we go on a 5-game winning streak starting this week? It's definitely possible. I don't, but I hope it is. I think they beat New England, and right now I'm not picking them to beat the Texans. They've hurt me too many times. I'm not picking the Jets to win next Thursday. I refuse to. Prove me wrong. Win 2 games in a row, and I'll start to believe. Lawrence, can we bring back motion on offense? Yes, it was working very good against the Bills. They didn't use it enough this past week. Peter says, Rex was one of the best we had, and Herm was no slouch. Both had their issues, their flaws, right? They weren't perfect coaches. But Herm Edwards went to the playoffs 3 times as the Jet coach, and Rex Ryan won 4 playoff games as the Jet coach. That matters. Peter says, I'll wear the Jeter jersey that I met you in the subway, Jake. Yes, Peter, I remember that. That was funny. Peter recognized me coming back from a Yankee game. Let's see. What do we got? Robert writes in, Jake, sadly, you say win Sunday and then we'll talk. I can't tell you how many times I've heard you say that over the past couple of years, and what happens. They lose worse than could have imagined. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not getting sucked in, man. I believed in this team. They lost me at 2-5. Win 2 in a row, and we could talk. Till then, what are we talking about? What the Jets want you to talk about, which is the biggest slap in the face I've seen today, is this. Hi, Haason Reddick. Here's another reminder. We're 2-5, and this guy skipped out on the first 5 or 7 games on the season. Give me a break. Like, who thought this was a good idea to post? Again, it's just like, it makes no sense. Paul says, I tried to give memberships, and it's not working. If you're doing it from a phone, I believe you need to be on a desktop, or if you have an iPhone, it won't let you gift. MX says, tank 2 years for Arch. Only way New York can win a Super Bowl is with a Manning at the helm. Graham says, Mets fans rooting for the Yanks are exposing themselves. I don't know about this one. Met fans detest the Dodgers too, Graham. As a Jet fan, I rooted for the Giants when they played the Patriots at the Super Bowl. It's not exactly the same thing. It's not like the Yankees are playing the Phillies again like in 2009, but I mean, Met fans don't like the Dodgers. I am curious who are more Met fans rooting for, though, the Yankees or the Dodgers. I asked Beningo, and he said the Yankees. My best friend's a Met fan. I'm the best man in this wedding. He said he didn't care. He said if he had to pick, he probably would say the Yankees. So we'll see. You know, I don't know. Alan, who are you rooting for in the World Series?
I'm a Yankee fan. I hope they win. I don't think they will.
All of you delusional Jets fans need to know that I am the king of stupid town.
Thanks for the time, Alan. I don't want to go back to you. You can sit on hold for a little bit. Maybe we'll go to you. Maybe we won't. You're coming after my listeners today, Alan. Went up and in on a family man and the hamburger. We can't stand for this. Graham says more Alan. He's a wrecking ball. Hey, Alan, how are you?
My advice to Hamburger, okay?
Oh, God. You're going to get parenting.
When I go... Okay, when I go after you, it means you've made it. So that's actually a compliment. But here is the advice to both your daughter and young Connor Long. Emancipation is the best avenue. That is where I would start. Okay? But again, Hamburger, when I go after you, that means you've made it. So be thankful. I don't go after certain people because they're zeros. I go after people who've actually made it. Okay? Thank you very much, Hamburger. Be thankful. Again, please do not put your wife in an Aaron Rodgers jersey anymore. Let her wear the Mahomes shirt like my wife does. Thank you very much.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
What a show. Hey, RSVP to the watch party on Sunday. Joe Beningo will be there. So you can watch a Jet game with Joe B. And if they lose, you're not going to want to miss it. If they win, it'll be great. Links in the description if you want to RSVP. Also, Allen, how big of a fraud are you? I thought your wife loves Josh Allen. Now she's wearing a Mahomes jersey. Have a spine, man. Have a backbone. Tom wants to know, did Jake act that out or did Gator do AI? No, I sent Gator me the audio of me saying that. That's my actual voice in the whole videos we did. Anyway, I think we're done here. Thank you all for your support. You guys are the greatest. Fireman Ed joins us tomorrow in his weekly segment on the show at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Kick off your football Friday. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 39,700. Did we hit that number? We're at 39,692. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we need eight to get to 39,700. So thank you for your support. Couldn't do it without you. Best community in sports, win or lose. Jet fans, you guys are the greatest. All right. Enjoy your Thursday. What do we got? We got Rams Vikings tonight. Should be a doozy. Enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. JETS, 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 Jets.
Disgusting franchise that masquerades themselves as an NFL football team. I hate this team. I hate them. I hate them.
This is what I'm gonna do to you all season, little bitches. Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans. Oh, yeah, the dream season we've been waiting for is happening.
JETS, 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 Jets.